Happy Monday to you all. How are y'all doing? It is episode 13. Thank you so much for tuning in, for just coming along on this ride with us. It's been so much fun. We've had so many incredible artists come through. And today, you're in for quite a treat with the one and only Phil Denny, by way of Lansing, Michigan. Saxophonist extraordinaire. We're going to get into all of that a little bit later. But if you're enjoying what you're seeing, please click share. Let's spread the love. Let's spread the good vibes. This has just been such a blast every Monday. And we're celebrating today as well. I just found out that for the 16th week, my new single is in the top 10. And it also spent 12 weeks in the top 5. So really appreciate my radio promoter out there, Jason Goroff, all the support from you fans, all the stations. I think we got to play the tune, right? That's right, y'all. We got to take it to the top. Here we go. my goodness, we took it to the top on that one. And I got one more for you. We're going to pay tribute to the one and only Grover. You know, I started the Classics Unplugged a few weeks ago, and I decided we had to do a little bit of Grover, right? Come on, y'all, put it right here. Give me some finger snaps. A little wine life for you. To give y'all just a little bit of Grover, just a little bit. But I've got a very, very special tune for you right now. I'm going to bring in my lovely wife, Kat, and we got a tune for you right now. And we just put this together about an hour ago. This is an Ariana Grande tune. And we're doing our own little thing. You know how we like to flip stuff? We like to do our own thing. You never know. This may end up on a record. At some point. But for right now, this is the world debut of this tune. Well, first of all, let me bring my lovely wife. I'm talking too much. Let me bring her into the picture. There she is.
Hi.
All right. What's up, Kat? How you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
All
How are you
right,
guys?
all right.
Sorry, with the microphone again. I'm looking at everyone's comments all at the same time. But we're here.
You got double duty. You got
know.
double duty.
I know.
We're putting you to work. Well, you look lovely tonight.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna tune because I care.
Yes, please.
But tell them a little bit about this tune. What's the deal? Why did you pick this? Because you brought this to my attention, and it's such a gorgeous tune.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful tune. I was so recently we've been doing a lot of DIY projects, as you guys all know. So I was working in the backyard, and I had my iTunes on my little speaker, and this song popped up, and it just was gorgeous. And when you listen to the lyrics, it's for all the people out there that kind of had their almost love, the one that kind of got away. And but the lyrics are just wonderful, and it could really be a meaning for anything, for a love for a friend, for a family member, because we all go through those instances where we have our up and downs with relationships, or we kind of distance ourselves from certain people, relationships for different reasons, and we kind of wonder what would have happened. We almost had it, but it wasn't enough. So I hope you guys really enjoy it. It's a gorgeous song. To say we gave it a try, I'd like to blame it all on life. Maybe we just weren't right, but that's a lie. That's a lie, and we can't deny it as much as we want. But in time, our feelings will show. 'Cause sooner or later, we'll wonder why we gave up. The truth is, everyone knows. Almost is never enough. So close to being in love. If I would have known that you wanted me the way I wanted you, then maybe we wouldn't be 2 worlds apart, but right here in each other's arms. Yeah, we almost found what love was, but almost is never enough. If I could change the world overnight, there'd be no such thing as goodbye. You would be right where you were, and we'd get the chance we deserve. And we can't deny it as much as we want, but time, our feelings will show that we almost was never enough. Yeah, almost is never enough. So close to being in love. If I would have known that you wanted me the way I wanted you, then maybe we wouldn't be 2 worlds apart, but right here in each other's arms. And we almost we knew what love was, but almost is never almost is never enough.
Oh, honey, that was so beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, that's a great song.
Ladies
it's a
and
wonderful
gentlemen,
song.
that is the world debut of our version of that song. We literally learned it this morning. We hope you enjoyed it. We're just trying
you enjoyed it.
Trying to give you a little something new each week, but I enjoyed it, honey. That was
I did too.
Gorgeous.
It was gorgeous. Hope you guys really, really enjoyed it.
All right. Well, we'll see Kat a little bit later.
See you guys.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your support so much each week. Make sure you like my Facebook page. Make sure you click share. Let people know about the show. We're here every Monday. If you want to support us, and by the way, thank you so much to the supporters out there. We make it real easy. We have the links right in the description of this post, but I have them down here underneath as well. So PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. It's not required, but it's definitely appreciated. And we put it all right back into the show. We're making an effort to make it a better show each week. And I think you can attest that we've come a long way from episode 1. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk a little bit about this next gentleman that we're going to have, the one and only Phil Denny. Good buddy of mine. We met a long time ago before I ever had any records out. And he hit me up. He's like, hey, man, I'm looking for a guitar player. He was playing in L.A., probably Spaghettini or something. And that's how we met. And such a nice guy, such an incredible talent. And he's been nice enough to have me out at his events as well. He has 3 incredible events he puts on in the Michigan area. And but I don't want to talk too much. I want to get straight to the interview. He'll tell you about it, and we got a couple of tunes in there for you as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, the incredible, the one and only Phil Denny. What is up, Phil Denny? Man, thank you so much for coming through. How are you today?
I'm great, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Man, it is a pleasure, and I want to dive right in because we have so much to get to. We have your backstory. We have a couple songs you're nice enough to play for us, but you have such a unique beginning to your career. You actually were in the world of finance before the saxophone. Give us a little idea about that and how you made the transition.
Sure. Yeah, I played all through college. Started in middle school band like a lot of people. Went into the community jazz program at the local community college. Played through college. Had a band for 12 years, and I was moonlighting. After the 9-to-5 thing in mortgage lending. And, and I started a family early too. So honestly, music wasn't always at the forefront, over the last 2 decades. But, went through the day gig and had a lot of fun doing that. Very passionate about my work. But, music was always really the underlying passion thing that I wanted to do. So going through the struggles of the recession in 08, 09, I decided in 2010 that I wanted to follow my passion for music and start a career and go into business for myself.
Wow. Fascinating. Because, quite a lot of people that, they once they got a career started, they just keep going. And so that's really cool that you followed your heart. And another thing that's interesting about you, I mean, you've had so much success recording and also touring around the country. But you're also an expert promoter, man. I mean, let's count through these. You've got your Gallery Suite series. I think you do, 7, 8 a year. Your festival and your Christmas show. I mean, talk a little bit about that. That is no easy feat to pull off all of these events.
No, it's really not. But, shout out to the Lansing community and the people around the state for, coming into Lansing to support live music. When I went into, business for myself as a musician and entrepreneur, I also recognized that there was a need for live entertainment in Lansing. We are a university town, home of Michigan State University. And, one would think that we have performance venues, but unfortunately, we are lacking live performance venues. So musicians like myself, had sought to create experiences. And I was fortunate enough over the years to meet a lot of people like yourself, touring, recording, and tracking. And then extending an invitation to say, hey, come to Lansing, have, the community here become experienced with your music. And it's one of those things where people might not come to Lansing without that type of an invitation. They're going to Detroit or other areas within the state for festivals, theater performances, and so forth. So it was just, I think, a lot of timing and then also listening to the people and then following my passion for bringing people together and creating wonderful and memorable music experiences.
Yeah, and I can personally attest. You were nice enough to have me at the gallery series, and so cool, man, so cool. And you have these tiers. You have kind of a monthly series, but then of course you have your 2 larger events as well. So man, kudos to you, man. Really cool.
Thank you. Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. Of course, touring and performing on stage as an artist is my first passion. But when I'm not touring, this gives me an opportunity to stay connected locally and contribute towards the arts culture here locally, which I'm pretty passionate about also. So
man, we got to talk about the music, because we're going to perform here in just a second. But man, you're quite the renaissance man. I think you just released, is it 2 songs just back to back? You just dropped them on us.
Yeah.
And, talk a little bit about, first of all, you have a kind of a collaboration with Marcus Anderson and Matt Cusson. What's up with that track?
Yeah, so we about a year ago, I had approached those guys about the opportunity to redo and sort of throwback 80s feel, but also with a lot of more new influence, like The Weeknd, for example, to do a remake of What's Love Got to Do with It. And Marcus is a great friend of mine, as yours, and we all know he's a fabulous musician. So he joined on alto sax and flute, and then Matt Cusson, great vocalist and friend of mine. So it was just one of those boy band experiences that I thought would be kind of fun. It sat on the shelf for a year, and then during quarantine, we're like, hey, we might as well try and finish this track. And for me, being that Michigan is a seasonal state, I found that recording and writing music during the winter months and then into spring is really the time that I can just nest in and be creative. So I've been writing and recording music, up until the time that we were quarantined, and then through a portion of quarantine. So it was just a great time to do it. And then also my new single "Lifted" that just came out, which was #1 most added on Billboard, I'm proud to say.
All right.
So and that came out, just a feel-good song, came out right at the time where things I felt would really be like lifted, and people would look for just a sense of calm and newness and refreshness. So I hope that track reaches people and makes them feel uplifted.
Well, speaking of that track, I don't want to keep the people waiting anymore. So ladies and gentlemen, right now for you live, please enjoy "Lifted." Man, really incredible tune, and I think we appreciate the sentiment for the times we're in right now. I feel lifted,
Absolutely.
definitely.
All right. Yeah.
So, man, so you got another track here that you're nice enough to let me jam with you on, and it's called Feel All Right, and it came off of your Align record, which I was really excited to work with you on, producing a couple tracks, and
for sure.
That was a lot of fun
collaborating.
But this track featured on the original David P. Stevens. Tell us about this tune.
Yeah, so I actually wrote this song for David Stevens. He and I have had, much like me and you, have had several opportunities to play over the years. And we had talked about, collaborating on some music. And this just happened to be the track. It was produced by Lou Lang. And it was number 2 on Billboard just last year, and really, really proud, to say that. And of course, I think David was a good fit for the track, and he was really, really excited. Just a humble, great dude, and wonderful guitar player. So you and I have had the chance to play it a couple times live, and we thought, after chatting, this would be a good tune to play during your program. So I think we should do it.
Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go. Feel All Right. Man, really fun tune. I'm gonna have to hit up David and say, hey man, thanks for letting me keep the seat warm for you, because that is a hot track, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, you always sound great on it. So
appreciate it. Well, man,
sure.
Now that we're closing out, I just want to make sure you have a chance. Let the people know what you have coming up. I know you're working on some new music, and also, where can we find you online?
Sure, yeah, working on the new EP project. As I mentioned earlier, I have the new single out, Lifted, which is available on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, all the usual outlets, and of course streaming for those that stream. I hope that, of course there's a lot of things to consider right now, but I hope by late summer, by fall timeframe, the new EP will drop. And of course, you can find that at phildenny.com. I'm very active on social media, on Facebook under Phil Denny is my artist page, Phil on Sax on Twitter, Phil on Sax on Instagram, which has become one of my favorite platforms. Yeah. And I still respond to all of my social media. I enjoy being engaged with the audience. And so if people would like to learn more about the music or what's coming up next, please reach out and follow me there.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an incredible pleasure to have Phil on the show. Phil, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate being on the show, and good luck with everything that you're working towards, and congratulations on your episodes.
Appreciate it, man. All right, we'll catch you later. Thank you.
All right, buddy. See you, man.
Oh, yes, that was the one and only Phil Denny. Wasn't that incredible? Man, great tunes, great conversation. Make sure you support him. He's got some great records. I've had the good fortune of working on, as we mentioned, did a couple tunes on his last record, working on some for his next EP. So appreciate you, Phil. Thank you so much for coming through, sharing your talent. And I was looking through the comments, and man, people were really enjoying it. So that was really cool. Well, y'all know what time it is. It's time for the Cat Cam. Let's bring her in. There
Hi.
she is. All right. What's up, Kat?
Hi.
Well, we had a nice visit from you a few minutes earlier.
Yes.
And by the way, everyone, we're about to go into Ask Adam in a little bit, so drop your questions in the comments. Kat will be monitoring them. But first of all, what are the people saying? What's going on out there?
Well, the people have a lot to say, especially about your hair.
Oh. It's a common theme. Every week we talk about my hair.
Still all very good things. Things. Let's see what we have here. Erin Hall, she's down in the Atlanta area, outside the Atlanta area. And she says, Adam, please don't ever cut those beautiful curls.
Oh, wow, man. The tide is like completely against you now.
So against me. I don't understand. Maybe because you guys have only seen Adam really with his hair very short.
Well, if you got to know me when I was with Brian Culbertson in 2013, 2014, I had it buzzed. And the story behind that was when I was with Jennifer Lopez, 2012, they had all of us buzz our hair, all the band, all the dancers. So I kept it for about 3 years, but it's been longer more recently, definitely. And now it's the quarantine look, you know. This is not having a haircut in about 4 months. So
and Tonka Hill also says loving Adam's hair.
Okay, all right, man, this is like I'm feeling the love. Thank y'all.
Right, you have to listen to the people, but I don't know. No, I don't know. Okay, so we have, of course, our people love to give their shout outs from where they're watching from.
Okay.
We have Ruth English. She's watching from Pensacola, Florida.
Okay.
So hi, Ruth. Thank you so much for tuning in.
What's up, Ruth? How you doing? All right.
We also have Cecil Ramirez up in Napa. Hi, Cecil.
Okay. What's up, Cecil? Hey, he's got a great show every Sunday. Make sure you don't miss it.
Awesome. And then we have some of our friends watching. Chris Harris is watching.
What's
He's
up, Chris?
in Atlanta as well.
ATL. All right. Yeah.
And then Billy Mondragon, he's watching. Billy Mondragon's here in SoCal.
W3. They are burning up the charts, and I just saw they got a song placed in a Netflix show. So congrats to them. And what's up, Billy? Hope you all are doing well.
And then Edgar, is it Correa?
Okay.
Watching from Boca Raton, Florida.
Yeah,
Hi, thank you so
right.
much, and thank you for staying up late.
All right,
all
appreciate
you East Coasters.
By the way, that was a great segue. Thank you, Kat.
You're welcome.
You know, great minds think alike.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, mark it in your calendars. We're moving back an hour starting next week. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Just want to make it a little easier for everyone to watch, especially in the later time zones. I've had so many, like, I'm not even exaggerating, hundreds of people be like, it's so late, I had to watch it the next day. So we're trying to find a happy medium. So tune in next week, and I'll give you the schedule in a little bit. We got an incredible guest next week and an incredible month lined up. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it.
Don't miss it. Also, a lot of people really loved some of your new camera moves you have.
Okay, hey, you know, like I said, you guys have been so supportive, and we really appreciate it. And we're not just running to the casino. You know, when you all contribute, it all goes back into the show. Last week, added a couple DSLR cameras, and this week, you know, just getting to know him a little bit better and getting some new moves. So that was all me, by the way. I need to get little Adam in here and start doing the camera switching.
We do need to get little Adam because he's in here during the day when Adam is working, and Adam is, you know, explaining what everything is and what it does and different chords and everything. So he's learning about it, but we need to actually get him in work.
Because it's kind of challenging. I mean, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I'm playing the guitar and we're running a live stream, looking at the comments, doing the camera switching. It's like, you know, trying to keep all the balls in the air. But
it is a lot.
I'm glad y'all are enjoying it. Thank you.
But you're doing great, Adam.
Oh, thank you.
You're
you too.
welcome.
You too. You got a bunch of hats too. So
thank you. And then we have a few comments from people when they were watching the interview with you and Phil, which is a great interview, Phil.
Yeah,
awesome
thank you,
job.
Phil. Appreciate you, man.
And then also your music. Everyone loved your new song. Was it Lifted?
Lifted.
Yes.
Great
So many
tune.
people commented in the comments saying that they loved that. And I saw a few people said that they've been hearing it on Watercolors.
Yeah.
So they loved that. We have someone, goodness gracious, I'm so sorry. I forgot to write your name down, but he's obviously in the Detroit area. He says he says Phil Denny is the best entertainment promoter in the state of Michigan. Oh no, I did write it down. That's from Kelly Curry. So Kelly Curry, he's giving you that compliment, Phil, that he's the best entertainment promoter in the state of Michigan.
Okay, all right. Well, there you go, man. Well, that's saying a lot because, you know, Motown, there's a whole lot going on out there. So, right on.
Well,
Good on you, Phil.
I can say when we went to Phil's event at the art gallery,
that
the gallery
was
amazing.
Series. It was so much fun.
That was amazing.
It was a blast. Yeah.
It was such a blast. And then Nicole Caselli, she says she loved seeing the both of you and Phil in Asheville last summer.
Yeah, you know, that was a blast too, and that would have been Marcus's festival, and yeah, that was so much fun. Asheville is a great city, and then Phil and I had a good time playing with each other. So, so yeah, it was very cool. Okay, all right, right on. Good comments, everybody. Loving it.
And at the very beginning of your interview, Creston Jordan, he's here in SoCal. He's the one that says Magical Mondays.
That's right.
Hi, Creston. Thank you so much for tuning in, as always. He says, I'm still recouping from Kat's performance.
Wow.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed that song.
You were gorgeous.
Thank you.
You sounded incredible, and I loved it. So thank you for blessing us with that. That was really cool.
And I saw a few women comment on my earrings, saying that they liked my earrings.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I don't remember where I got them from. Because we travel so much, and, you know, of course, sometimes I have to dip out and, like, just grab a little piece of something. So I don't know where I got these from, but thank you so much.
Wow. I saw, not to jump the gun, but transitioning to Ask Adam, there's actually a question for you. And it was, this is from LaRonda Garrett.
Okay.
What gourmet meal will you be preparing on the 4th cat?
I don't know yet. What gourmet meal? I'm not sure. I don't know.
You're not sure? You always have like a whole thing set up.
I know, but sometimes I don't really think about it. It just kind of like hits me. We do a lot of our grocery shopping online. So if I'm on my phone or my computer and I'm just scrolling through, you know, what I need to buy, then I'm thinking like, oh, I could make this. But I don't know. I don't know yet.
All right. I'm sure it'll be amazing. I also see a birthday request from, I can't see this far. My eyes are going. Dick Stadig. Sorry, I'm messing up your name, I know. It's blurry. I'm losing my eyes. But Dick, we wish you a happy birthday. He just turned 69. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for hanging with us.
Oh, and you know what? That brings me back to giving requests and shout outs.
Yeah.
We have Joy and Peter Nicholas. They said they're celebrating their 37th wedding anniversary this week, and they're watching from Austin, Texas.
Oh, we appreciate you guys. You guys are always so supportive. Happy anniversary. Thanks for spending it with us. That's
and
very
actually,
sweet.
there were quite a few people last week as well that either texted me personally or they sent me a message on Facebook and then commented in the comments that they also were celebrating anniversaries.
Wow.
And we had a few people ask for the song Love Song.
Okay.
And so I don't know. We might do it today, but if we don't get it today, we definitely we have you guys for next week.
No, we got you
okay?
next week. Make sure you tune in next week, and we got you.
We got you, but
that's off the first
congratulations.
record. People they're going old school on us.
Old school.
Going back to the first record. Okay, I
So
like it.
to ask Adam, we actually have a few questions.
Okay.
So Robert Crutcher, he also commented at the beginning of the video and liking all of your new zoom in shots that you were doing with the camera.
Thank you. Hey, try and do a little something.
So he asks, Adam, do you sing?
Oh, I sang on the first record. I sang harmony on Love Song, and that was the last time. But I sing background a lot of times, especially in the days when I used to tour as a guitarist for different people. Dave Koz and a lot of different people. I used to sing a lot of background.
Yeah.
I haven't done too many leads. I did some leads at church but that was so long ago. That was now like 10 years ago. But at the church that we met at, and I ended up becoming music director. And, when you're music director, you can call your own number. And so I was singing whether they wanted me to or not. But no, I think it was all right. Actually, I used to sing in my first group. I used to be in a bluegrass band when I was 14, and I did a lot of singing. So maybe I'll have to start doing the warm-ups and bring it back.
Can you please give everyone the name of your bluegrass band?
Oh, yes, Three Kings and a Jack. And we had toured all around Oregon and Washington. And I was the oldest member at 14. We had two 12-year-olds and a 13-year-old. So I was the elder statesman.
Yes.
But that was my introduction to touring. And it was great because, a lot of times when you're trying to start out, you got the garage band, you're trying to get some gigs. They just needed a guitar player. They already existed, had a tour schedule. So I just dropped right in and bam. We were all over the Northwest.
And then what was the band name when you were in high school?
Oh, so yeah, I figured that's what you're going for. My blues rock band in high school was called Mo Pigeon.
Mo Pigeon.
What are you going to do? We couldn't come up with a name.
Mo Pigeon. That's funny, but cute. Okay, so our next question is from Linda Dickinson.
Okay.
Hi, Linda.
What's up,
She's
Linda?
always watching. Thank you guys so much. This is for both, it's for both you and Phil, but Phil, I saw he answered in the comments. So this is for your side of the question. Performing at the historic Bakers in Detroit.
Yeah.
What was that like? And you and Phil did a show together there.
Yeah, Phil was nice enough to put that together. That was the weekend I did his series. Then we did Bakers, and we also did Akron, and that was a blast. But Bakers, I mean, that's the oldest jazz club in the world, and wow, just walking in there, you could just feel the history, the pictures on the wall. We had a great show. And then the food, oh my goodness, it was soul food. I remember that mac and cheese was right.
Oh yeah.
So it was really fun. It was a really fun experience and an honor. Yeah. So.
And then we have some more friends that have joined in the chat. Letitia Valentine.
All right, what's
Hi,
up?
Hi, B. How you doing?
Letitia and Mr. Chocolate, Eric.
Yes.
How y'all doing?
Someone asked last week.
Yeah.
I didn't catch their name, but if you know who you are, once I asked, just drop yourself here in the comments. They asked if Eric, because we answered the question, who plays drums on all of your recordings.
Yeah, he's been on almost every song.
So they asked, does Eric come to your home studio here, or where does he record?
Oh, so Eric has his own studio. By the way, if you need drums or know somebody who needs drums, make sure you reach out to Eric. And he's incredible. He's got a state-of-the-art studio, and so that's where we've been recording. And he does almost all the drums for either my records or everything I'm producing. We've been having files fly back and forth so much, actually, in the last couple months because I've had so much fun producing for a bunch of people. Jeff Ryan, Rob Zinn, D. Lucas, bunch of people. And I got to look up on the wall, and I got my whiteboard up here. Fantastic new saxophone player Jason Jackson I'm working with. And so it's just been a lot of fun. So he's just incredible and has a great spot there. So check it out.
And we also have another friend watching. Terry Woolman is watching. He's down here
All
in
right.
SoCal. Hi, Terry.
Terry, what's up? Great guitar player. He's got some great records out, too. Make sure you check it. Very
Stephanie
cool.
Barrett, she says greetings from New York.
Okay, all right. We'll appreciate it.
And I think that's all of our questions for Ask Adam.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you give a virtual hand clap for my lovely wife, Kat.
Oh, thank you.
She's wearing all the hats today. Vocalist extraordinaire, beauty extraordinaire.
Beauty, yes.
And hanging out with the comments and the questions. So appreciate you, honey.
Yes, I appreciate you too. And we appreciate all of you hanging with us every Monday. Thank you so much for being so excited, putting all of your comments in, and then, of course, just tuning in. We love you guys. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Kat.
Bye.
And as we transition, I got to tell you about what's coming up next week. Now, remember, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 1 hour earlier. We're switching. Mark it on your calendars. Let everybody know. And next week, we've got the one and only Chris Standring, guitarist extraordinaire, British. He's a Brit, an extraordinary Brit. So many great records out, and a dear friend of mine. We're on the phone or emailing or texting all the time, just talking about the business of music. It's going to be incredible discussion, and you already know he could play. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Next week, July 6th, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And I am really excited about this schedule. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. We're not messing around. Chris Standring, the one and only Denise Williams. You know her. You love her. So many hits. Denise Williams, July 13th. Julian Vaughn, my dear friend. We've played on so many songs for each other. We're going to be hanging July 20th. Gospel, and not just gospel, she sings everything. Crystal Lewis, you know her from the song with Kirk Franklin. She's going to be showing up. I played on her new record, which was so much fun. That's going to be July 7th. And we're going to have a producer's corner. I'm introducing a new segment, and I'm going to feature a new song I produced for a great young saxophonist, up and coming, Tony Craddock Jr. I shouldn't even say he's up and coming. He's already got a bunch of records out, but we connected, and I produced a couple songs for him. And one of those is his next single. So he's going to drop in at the end of July as well, along with Crystal. So come on. Let the people know. Make sure you share. We're having so much fun, and I'm trying to bring it to you every week. Chris Standring, Denise Williams, Julian Vaughn, Crystal Lewis, Tony Craddock Jr. It's a jam-packed July, and it's all at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Kat wants to jump back in. I guess she's not done.
I'm so sorry. Yes, I just saw a comment from Carla in Denver. Hi, Carla.
Hey, Carla.
And she wanted to know if we had any favorite memories of Kihara Parker.
Oh, thank you so much for bringing that up.
Yeah.
And I was going to mention it later, but that's okay. We can talk about it now. Kihara was such an incredible drummer. We just lost him a few days ago. And I was trying to think through. I'm not sure if we ever played, but I was a huge fan of his. And my memories would be seeing him play with George Benson, seeing him with BWB, seeing him with Jeffrey Osborne. Just an incredible player. If you're not familiar with him, most of you should be because he's played with everybody in the jazz genre. But he's from Chicago. And most recently, it was with George Benson and Jeffrey Osborne, but he was with Destiny's Child. And so my memory would just be just seeing him just lay down that incredible groove. But even more importantly, just an incredible human and just the nicest guy. And so we're going to miss you, Kihara. Just a sweetheart. And just gone too soon. I believe 46 he was.
Yeah.
So thank you, Carla, for jumping in with that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kat. Yeah, we're going to miss Kihara for sure. So our thoughts and prayers are with his family. So thank you, Kat.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I think we're going to have to close out with a little bit more music. And this was a song that was a request about a month ago. And so I decided to bring it back. And so this is only the second time I've performed this. And it's a little bit of Al Jarreau. and I think you're going to recognize it. This is a tune called Morning. It was just too much fun the last time. I had to bring it back one more time. Come on, y'all. Give me some more finger snaps one more time. my goodness. We only got time for one more song out there. We're going to track one off of my second record. This is called Party People. This is for all the party people out there, featured the one and only Jeff Lorber on the original. Come on, y'all. Let's take it out with a party. ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of another episode. This was so much fun. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for Phil Denny for coming through. And one more time, if you feel it in your heart to help out, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, you can just click on the link in the description. Huge thanks to all the supporters out there. Thank you to Phil Denny. Tune in next week, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the one and only Chris Standring. Thank you all for coming through. We'll see you next week, 6 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it.